welcome to another episode of Games with Web3 Friends. Today I am with Wayne from Fio Protocol, and he has accepted a challenge to a game of Jenga.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. Of course, it sounds like you might be a ringer again.
Yes, I've been doing this all day. So,
Yeah.
so just house rules, because that's important to clarify. Everybody has a different set of rules for Jenga.
Gotcha.
You have to stack back up on top, one hand, and you can't pick from the top three. Fair?
Sounds good.
All right. So, tell me about Fio Protocol.
Yeah, so Fio Protocol is we're a usability layer to make using crypto easier. If you've ever sent or received any kind of digital asset, you've got those long public addresses. And so what our protocol allows you to do is we work with wallets, exchanges, NFT protocols, and most recently like NFT games, really anybody building in the Web3 space to allow you to create what we call handles that are human readable, that you can map one of every wallet address, doesn't matter what chain, what coin, what token, to a single human readable address that makes it super easy, and it stops those mistakes. If you've heard the horror stories, I've done it before, sending to the wrong address or sending on the wrong chain, and the protocol provides layers that make it easy for the user to be able to do that. And we do it in a decentralized manner. So Fio is a layer 1 blockchain that maps and stores the data. So the user controls their data, controls their mapping, and then they're able to create those handles. And there's a lot of use cases that have evolved. So I guess I should play while I'm talking, right?
So I feel like in the Web3 space, that's a big conversation right now is, hey, I have either a ton of different wallet addresses and I like to have one universal address that is easy to type and is easily discoverable. Or, hey, I know nothing about Web3. This feels similar to like buying my website. Does that sound about who your customers are?
Yeah, for the most part, there's an education process because there's some other wallet naming services that are all good. They're not interoperable with everything. And then the other thing is they use like a dot extension, and some of them.
What is that?
So like .com,
Okay.
so like .eth or others where there could be the potential to build a website. There's a centralized service called ICANN that controls websites being built, those top level domains. And we're not in that space. We're mainly in the wallet naming, like your finance, your wallet identity. Your wallet in the future is going to be social. So you have identities. And just like email, I tell people all the time, think about this. You have email addresses for business, email addresses, personal stuff that you give to everybody, like for join rewards programs. And then most people, you should, if you don't, have an email address that you don't make public. Maybe you use it for your logins to financial accounts. And it's the same thing with our handles, is you can have those for different wallets. So my cold storage wallet at home, I don't give that handle that I have mapped to it to anybody. But anytime I want to send to it, I can easily just type the handle in, hit send. And the same I did for my kids to where they each have a handle.
They have wallets?
Yeah. They don't control the key. I still control the keys till they turn 18. My oldest just turned 18. I haven't turned it over yet. She turned 18 like 2 weeks ago. But when I want to say a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of ETH for their future, I don't have to look up what each one's wallet address is. I know what their handle is. I just type in their username, send it to them, and then it's in that wallet. So there's a lot of benefits to not just make it so you don't make mistakes, but make it easy to a process that people are familiar with when people have sent emails. So being able to send something similar, it's very easy because I know when I first got into this space in 2016, first time I went to withdraw from an exchange to a wallet, I was like, oh crap, what is this? Like I called my friend. I was like, do I really have to like copy and paste this long address? And he's like, yeah, don't, make sure you get every letter and number right. Don't, mess it up because you could lose it forever.
Have you ever done that?
Yes, I have. Because let's face it, we use our devices a lot. So phones, and a lot of times, how do we copy and paste on our phone with our thumbs, right? And a simple, call it like fat finger, accidentally add a character, delete a character, change a character, and you're done. And that's not going to foster adoption because those of us that see the potential of what the space can do for the future, for inclusivity and just getting everybody involved and everybody be able to participate in a more fair economy, people, a lot of people outside the space that don't understand it or skeptical, they don't care that it's blockchain. They don't care that it's crypto. They just want to know, does it work and is it better? And if there's a lot of friction in onboarding, like you go to set up a wallet and immediately as soon as you set up the wallet, you got to write down that 12 or 24 word phrase, that's a friction point that stops you. Now it's something they need to do, but there's actually some providers that are doing more to make it easy for setup, and then they can do that process later when they're at home. Or because I know most people on board, I don't board them at their house to help them get started. So it's everything I've done in the space has been centered around bringing new people into space, educating. And so with Fio Protocol, I joined the project 2 years ago just because it is a protocol that fostered that, because we need education and we need protocols that make it easier to use. Similar to the internet, think about the internet. The internet adoption years ago, you had to type an IP address to go to a site. And then we saw these great things with DNS and HTTPS that made it to where now you can type in www dot whatever and end up at a site. Most people don't realize that IP address is still in the background. Most people don't care about it as long as they get where they need to go. And digital assets are going to be the same way.
That's a big conversation that's been happening this year, specifically around NFT NYC. Obviously, every conference that you go to, I don't know if you've been through the conference circuit this year, but it's interesting. The narrative of each one is completely different. Like ETH Denver, did you go to that?
Yes, I was.
Felt very regulation heavy, just given like what was happening that week. And some of the other conferences we've been to over the past few weeks, some are very like, bear market, is it, are we coming back, conversation. This conversation for NFT NYC over the past day of recording has all been like the invisible Web3 rails. Like how do we put Web3 on the back end and get users where they need to go in a more efficient and seamless, exciting way.
Yeah.
And so you're not the first person to say that today, which is,
We've had many conversations this week with people as far as, do you even really need to tell everybody, hey, this is an NFT?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just the technology that they use to interact. It's
Yep.
digital access, it's digital membership. It could be a digital coupon. It's an NFT. It's just one, just like we don't say, hey, this is an internet product, everything's online, right?
Yeah.
So there's been that debate because NFTs kind of cover the same path as crypto. Like Bitcoin and a select few cryptocurrencies are going to change the world for the better. Same thing with this technology, but there's also a lot of scams, a lot of rug pulls, and it all just gets lumped together. Where, how do you distinguish that? So do we stop calling it crypto and just digital assets, and there's certain standards that some are better than others? And same thing with NFTs. We don't call them NFTs, we just call it what it is, a digital ticket. If someone wants to go to a concert, they get their ticket as an NFT. And not only it provides them access to the concert, but then they have a digital collectible when they're done that says, hey, this is hey, this is your just digital ticket stub that you can keep and show off to people.
So let's talk about your team.
Yes.
How big is the team?
So the team right now, we've got roughly 30 people. Some are part-time, quite a few full-time. Just kind of trying to navigate that bear market. Our biggest challenge is awareness. But we've got some really good people that care a lot about driving the Fio Protocol. Because usability is not something that, hey, this is sexy, this is fun. It's not a game. But it's something that's needed. And so trying to figure out how to make that fun, how to get attention on it. We've got a great team. The protocol launched 3 years ago. The blockchain's been live for 3 years now. And now it's, there's some core developers on the team, some of our founders, and then we have a couple of different projects. One focus on growth, which is what I head up, and one focus on core infrastructure, which is not just because the chain is decentralized. There's block producers that secure the chain, so they can provide like improvement protocols that have to be voted on, but then also maintaining our website or dashboard just for users to use. Because our protocol, there's a lot of wallets that you can download and use our protocol within those wallets, like Edge Wallet and Dopamine Wallet and others. But then you can also go to our dashboard and map those handles to wallets or exchanges that maybe haven't integrated our protocol.
So our community is filled with job seekers in the Web3 space, from newbies to crypto natives. And the number one question we get is, what is that one skill I have to be able to work for a Web3 company?
For me, it's just got to be, I always look at, because every job is different. So skills can be learned, but there's a certain essence of teamwork, the team, and not just about me. Like, what can you do to contribute? The cool thing about decentralization is anybody can contribute anywhere, everywhere. And it's the same thing with that, is those that are just focused on growth and adoption and just really want more people to understand the space, because it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're a dev, whether you're a marketer, whether you're business development. If your goal is to move the space forward, then you have that team aspect. And I see it in the team when we're talking to people, because there's other protocols that do stuff similar. There's obviously differences from our protocol and others, but I don't focus on that. If those projects wanted to partner up tomorrow, we would do that, because it's all about moving the space forward. And it's the same thing there when you have a team that's everybody's focused on doing their part to get us where we need to be.
So your answer is teamwork?
Teamwork, yeah. Just that team aspect. I don't want to say selfless. I mean, we're all in it for something for ourselves, right? We want to support our family. We want to benefit financially and all those things. But you realize, I've learned through my years of leadership, when you put the whole team's needs first, you eventually the team performs better and everybody does better and everybody benefits a lot more.
So how does a candidate show that on their resume? Aside from putting it under the skills section, bullet point, teamwork.
Yeah. It's talking about what they've done, their hobbies, their interests, their extracurricular activities. And, if they're involved in a lot of organizations, then, there's that. And if they're already have already worked somewhere in this space too, crypto's global, but it's still a smaller community compared to other industries. So there's still, you can find out a lot about, what they've done, get a lot of insight. And it's also in how they communicate, how they present themselves, which I usually kind of take with a grain of salt, because over the years, my prior history before getting into this space was in corporate management and corporate structure. So I've hired a lot of people, and I've learned, like, if somebody comes to me with great attitude, just great persona and connect, and that is more important than someone that has this skill set resume, because knowing how to do something and actually being able to do it.
Yeah. Is it my turn or your turn?
I think it's your turn. Yeah, I think I just got that one out there. So
what about some tips and tricks for interviews?
Just be authentic. Most people try to put on an act when they're going into an interview, and there's certain questions and certain topics you can bring up to where you can find out if that's true or not. Just be authentic. Be open about what your strengths are. What do you feel your weaknesses are? Interviews, everybody wants to talk about how great they are at everything, but we all have vulnerabilities. Like, organization for me is not great. I'm the type, I can connect people. I can network, but when it comes to organizing, like, I literally have a drunk drawer at home. It's like my outlet of, that's just my mess, because it's not everybody is good at everything. So being able to point that out, you can easily then, that person you're talking to can identify how you can work with that team. That's one of the things I looked at recently when we were consolidating a few departments into one, because there was some overlap into what we do, our transferable skills, where, okay, this person, she's really great at this, but let's also have her help here, because there's some transferable skills there and it's a growth opportunity. And just leveraging people's strengths. So our good leader is looking for not just what can you do, but how can you fit in with the existing team.
Are you hiring?
We are currently not. So obviously, bear market, we've trimmed back slightly. Just haven't really taken on any new hiring. But for me, just from my past background of hiring, I am always accepting resumes, accepting connections, even willing to get on a call with people to discuss, because talent building a talent bench is not something that you just do when you have a need, when you have a vacancy, when you lose somebody. And my hope is not to lose somebody, but if somebody does go on to something better, that's great. But I'm also like, we're focused on growth. So if we're going to be successful, there's going to be a need in the future. Market picks up, we drive more awareness to what we're doing, and there could be a need. So I'm always out there sourcing talent. So I definitely tell people, connect with me. Let's stay connected. I mean, my connection with Fio didn't, it was probably 6 or 8 months after I connected with some key people on the team that there was actually a spot and there was a fit, and I actually joined the team.
Mhm. Well, it worked out great.
Yeah. This is getting tough.
Where do you usually hire from? Outside of your personal network?
Yeah, a lot of it in the past has been just personal network, people meet at events. Yeah, I just kind of decided that was the player thing.
You're committed.
Move it back, I'm gonna drop it. Yeah. So obviously hitting these events, networking with people, but just in our community, people that get in and engage. We have in our Discord channel, someone can open a ticket and we get anything from, I want to promote your product to I'm looking to work. I'm a developer.
Yeah.
And all those people, like I save all of those in a folder, like the ones that say, say where they are and want to connect with them to figure out what they can offer, what they can bring to the table. And then it gives you a chance to connect with them and see how they operate with different things. If they tell you what if they're working on something currently, you can start following along with that project. So usually it's that. I prefer that. That's why I like to build a talent bench, because when I first start off, it's like, okay, when we have a vacancy, then I've got to put feelers out there. Hey, who do you know that can do this? And it's a lot better when you're saying, okay, I've got these people that I know can do it. We also have, what's cool about our protocol is we partner with all these different other projects.
Mhm.
So there's been times where we weren't hiring, but one of our partners was, and vice versa. They brought someone to us that, hey, this person's done really great. I would recommend them. And coming from someone that's, say, been our partner for a while, that holds a lot more weight than just somebody that we don't know, just a full contract.
Yeah. So what is a good, it's your turn. What does a good inbound message look like to you? Because I'm sure you get a ton, especially if
Yeah.
people are opening up tickets on Discord. If your DMs are open, I'm sure you get a ton of messages.
Yeah, it's like, I'm all about being authentic, just a connection, willing to get on a call or willing to connect that way is more important than crafting a great message.
Yeah.
But it helps.
It's the start though.
Yeah.
I mean, to even get you to respond.
I'll give you an example. There's some messages we get where you can tell they're copy paste, that they don't really probably understand what the protocol is or what we do. So they've done no due diligence to see what do we do. They just say, okay, let me just send something to them. Or someone that's at least taking the time to understand what our protocol is, and then maybe identify from there what they can help with. I even had one recently where it was like they copy and pasted, and it wasn't even like, because I told them in the Discord ticket, send me an email with your information, and it was literally a copy paste message. They attached a resume too, but it didn't have the right name. Like it didn't have my name. It had probably whoever they emailed prior.
Freaking mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen all different types of messages. Just given that we're just given that we're like our hiring server or
Mhm.
job board, or that's what our Discord serves as. The types of messages that both myself and my husband have probably gotten over the past year. Some are a complete mess. Like the name isn't right, the company, there's grammar mistakes, there's so many issues with that message. And other times there's messages that come through that really stand out, that are personalized, that feel like that individual actually wrote that message for me, which is very tough to say to a candidate who's, frantically trying to find a job or the next opportunity. It's very time consuming to do that. And so it's tough for me to say, well, you should take the time to write a personalized message to each person. When on the other side, the job seeker is sitting there saying, hey, but I'm reaching out to 100 people. So
Yeah. There's a balance there. You're right, because there are certain parts of the message that you can customize, and there are certain parts you can just streamline that are like, hey, and that's totally acceptable. It's totally fine. At the end of the day, it's just about finding the right people, putting the right people in the right place, and not trying to force anything because there's certain jobs that like if I would put in today, I'd not be good at it. I'd probably struggle at it. And so finding that perfect fit for that person based off of their skills, their interests, their likes, certain things in their personality. And that's why I like to ask questions centered around whether it's problem solving or skill building or they're going to interact a lot with the team, just interpersonal skills.
Last question I have for you.
Sure.
Why should somebody work for you? What makes your company stand out?
Well, we're providing a great service for this industry because no matter what happens in the digital space, we're focused on making it easier. So it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people there's a lot of tribalism in the space where this chain's better than that chain. And I tell everybody, not every chain can do everything. Bitcoin's great, but it's not designed to do everything, just like other projects. So having our protocol is, I think the more we move towards mainstream adoption in general, our protocol is going to grow. So we'll have opportunity for growth. And we're also just heavily focused. So I just recently have taken over our marketing team too. We're actually in a transition right now. Some people on our team, they're going elsewhere. And what we're going to do is really I've been an educator at heart since I got into the space because it was so hard for me. I wanted to teach others. So really just focus on really onboarding new users as well. Not just come out and follow us on social media and we'll teach you what Fio is, but we'll also cover some basics, some security tips, some tips for wallets and different things, and also some fun content because people want to see that as well. So we're focused on
You're committed.
yeah, we're focused on growth, and we're really going to be aggressive about it. And we provide a valuable service. It's not like we just created a token to say, hey, come buy our token, pump the price up. It's not about that. For us, if we focus on the utility, how you can use our product, then we'll drive adoption in general. And it's kind of a cliche saying, but the rising tide raises all ships. So if we can be successful, we can help a lot of other projects, games,
Sounds like a
exchanges,
Southern
wallets,
saying.
marketplaces. Yeah.
This is a very good game.
Yeah,
This is the farthest that I've gotten.
I was surprised. I thought for sure I'd tumble it over within the first minute or two. Because there were some of those, you tap them and they're not budging. Oof. I think you just got the edge.
I
on that one.
know.
Here we go.
Wow.
See if I can play this. Oh.
So where can people learn more about you?
So you can learn more about our protocol if you just go to fioprotocol.io. We're on Twitter and other social media as @joinfio. And personally, I am blockchain Wayne across all social media platforms. I podcasted for quite a few years doing educational stuff just for fun.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what a lot of people know me as, blockchain Wayne. That's what I podcasted under.
Nice.
And it's stuck. So if you find me there, or I'm also helping run the Fio channel. And then our Discord server, like I said, anyone can open a ticket, whether you have a question, want to offer a service, or want to provide a service, or looking for a job. Send them. I know it seems like right now, I would say just if you're looking for a job, focus on making connections and building those connections with people, because it may not pay off today. You may not land the job this week, but a week, a month, a few months from now, it could lead to you, landing a very good, lucrative position. Okay. This. Oh. All right. Good game.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good game.
Thank you.
And to everybody that's watching, make sure to check out all the social links, which we will drop in the description below. And until next time, we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome.